Attention, all of humanity. This is not a test. Drop to your knees immediately and submit to your master, the government. Everything that you thought was conspiracy has just become reality. Welcome to the New World Order. Enjoy the mark of the beast, and above all else, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for submitting, and please remember, we are always watching you. Hi, it's Leahz. Last night I was contacted by Brett Creamer on Facebook about some strange military aircraft activity going on near his home in Evansville, Indiana. Now, according to Brett, he has contacted other sources, such as Dave Hodges, who also confirm that this has been going on all over the United States of America. Now, I'm going to share this with you. I did an interview with Brett and his wife last night. You're going to see that and hear it in a few moments. What you're going to see is a photograph that he took of one of those Air Force military aircrafts. We would ask that you share your thoughts in the comments below the video. Maybe you've had some experiences yourself. Please share that. Or if you recognize the type of military aircraft that you see in the photograph he took, please let us know what you think it is. So we're putting this out there for you. We're making no claims about what this is or what it's about. We don't know. Now, all I do know, as you see here on the screen, there's been a lot of military activity going on in relation to Russia, such as this recent article in Yahoo News. Russia deploys 28 combat planes in Syria, says U.S. officials. Then we have Russian military advancements on display in Syria. And we have preview of World War III. Russia is putting on a display of firepower that is shocking the world. So are they preparing for something? Are they getting ready in case there's war? Are they bringing something in and taking something out? What are they doing? We don't know, but be sure and listen to this account, firsthand account from Brett Creamer and his wife, and take a look at that photo. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Here is that interview I did last night. Thank you so much, and God bless you. I have Brett Creamer on the line with me, and I noticed a message on Facebook he was putting out about some urgent information about some strange activity in regards to military aircraft. Brett, are you here? You're on with your wife, and you're going to share the information?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Well, where we live, we're in a place called Evansville, Indiana. It's a small town or a city, about 100,000 people. And we have an airport here that's about 5 miles from our house. My wife is a stay-home mom, so she's here all the time. She's very familiar with every sound in the neighborhood. If a plane goes over, normally you hear it at a certain distance from our house, but we hear planes from time to time. So she texted me and she said, "It's crazy, but there are planes flying like right over the house." How far would you say? I mean, 300 feet? My wife is very sick, so sorry for her sore throat here. But she said it was like shake the house a little bit, really noisy.
Well, they definitely had just taken off. I mean, they were pretty low.
They were pretty low, she says. So they had just taken off, and they're passing over the trees here and over our house. And it's not normal flight pattern for the planes going over our house, number one. And for our small airport we don't get flights as frequent as she heard. So as she's texting me and she says, "This is crazy. It's like every 8 minutes on the button, there's a plane going over our house." And it's coming from the airport, doing a southerly takeoff, I guess, because that's the way the wind was blowing, going into the wind, then turning, going north, and the plane ended up going northeast. Now, for the amount of planes that were going out, she was saying every 8 minutes for an hour and a half, roughly, about an hour and a half. So she said there was a lull, and then they started right back up again. So it's strange to have that many planes in an hour all going to the same place. And when she got a picture of one, it looks as though there's an Air Force logo on one wing, a very small logo. And that's everyone knows the Air Force got the circle in the middle with the star and the.
Now, is that the picture? I saw a picture in the private message that you had posted.
Yes.
Is that, because I'll use that picture in this video that I'm going to upload.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was a cell phone. It's not the greatest quality, but our cell phones are not that great. But that's the picture we got. And I sent that to my brother, who was in the military and is now in Coast Guard Reserve. And he said it looks like a KC supertanker, a military plane. And he said they normally do runs like this as a test, because I contacted him and I contacted Dave Hodges, who is involved with the news, and he has contacts all over the country. I first contacted Dave Hodges and told him what I saw, or actually what my wife saw. And he said he's getting reports like this all over the country right now. And I thought, that's really strange. Then I contacted my brother. He said it looks like a KC supertanker, which again, when you all on YouTube see the picture, you can, if you're a military expert, you can tell us what that is, because we're not military experts by any stretch of the imagination. So whatever this plane was, that's what my brother thought it was. Now, he said it's probably a plane from, or a set of planes going on a training mission, going from this base to this base. And I said, well, they took off from a airport in Evansville, one after another, every 8 minutes. So he seemed a little confused by that. And as I was, if this was a military flight and they're doing some kind of training, why would they stop here in Evansville? There's plenty of bases. They could go anywhere. There's a base almost, I guess, in every state. They could stop, refuel, and move on. And planes can go for miles and miles and miles. They can go for states to keep going. They don't have to stop at Evansville Airport. So that was kind of strange. I don't know what was going on today, but something was going on. It was 12:30 when my wife first contacted me. This went on, you said before you texted me, and then for about an hour after that. So for about an hour and a half, right around lunchtime on Thursday, the 15th of October, these planes were flying like crazy. And from what Dave Hodges said, they were flying all over the country doing this.
So what does Dave Hodges think? What does your friend think? What do you think? I mean, what are your thoughts on this strange activity? Anything?
Yeah, I didn't get any more comment back from Dave Hodges. My brother was very confused by it. He went, really? It's kind of weird. When I told him on the phone, when he said they run the passes like that for their testing and training, but he made it sound like they do something different. When I explained it was from an airport, that threw him. He went, oh, big question marks in his text back to me. This is not normal. My thought is, if you're going to have a bunch of airplanes like that, somebody I talked to at work said the last time he saw something like that around here was when we went to war with Iraq. And you got a bunch of planes going overseas. But he even said they were from an Air Force base locally. That's, I'm sorry, Missouri. When I say locally, I'm like the next state over. We're right on the border. But he said they came from Missouri and they were really high in the air. And he said it was a straight line, almost from one end of the sky to the other, of just planes everywhere going in a straight line. And they were sending supplies, he found out, for the war. So when these planes were leaving here from Evansville, it was kind of weird. Either A, they came into Evansville and dropped something off. And if there was a plane every 8 minutes, you're talking 8, 10, 12, 15 planes in an hour and a half, roughly.
It's probably about a dozen.
Yeah, dozen or so. So we're over here trying to figure out the math. So say you had 12 planes all coming to Evansville, what were they dropping off at a normal civilian airport?
I can't imagine there was anything they were picking up.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have anything here.
And if they were taking off that quick in succession like that, they were on the runway waiting to go, now you, now you, now you. I mean, I can't imagine what they would have been here for in Evansville. So that just raised some flags in my head. I'm not running around staring at the sky, or my wife's not seeing the medevac helicopter and getting all nervous and calling people. This was just very unusual to have these large jumbo jets flying over our house, which is not the norm at all. To have them this low, so they were just taking off from here, having them every 8 minutes. We're lucky to get a plane out of that airport every hour.
Yeah,
so
I saw where you had put in the message on Facebook something about 12 planes in a row, a short breather, and they were at it again, like clockwork and nonstop, kind of what you're saying right now. And then you, of course, posed some questions. What in the world are they moving and where? Sounds like they are flying in tandem, stopping for quick refuels and getting right back up in the air. What do they know? What are they doing? So, I don't really I don't know either, unless it's some sort of clandestine military activity they don't even know about. Who knows?
Aren't they all clandestine?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Either they're bugging out or they're bringing in Syrian refugees. You don't know. I mean, nowadays, if you ask questions, well, you just get laughed at. But it's like we're citizens. We should know what our tax dollars are paying for. And when you see all these planes buzzing our house, why aren't they using military bases for this? What's going on? Then I could imagine if those planes were taken off from this civilian airport, that it tied up the traffic there at the airport for an hour and a half.
It's probably why they picked Evansville, because if they would have gone through Indianapolis or something, it's much busier. It would have been a lot harder to organize. So maybe that's why they picked here instead of
could have been
a bigger city.
Well, it certainly is strange, to say the least. I mean, I'm just going to put this out there for everybody listening on the YouTube channel. We're not saying we know what it is or claiming anything. We're just putting it out there because it's weird. So people can, of course, share their thoughts in the comments area about what they think is going on, or if the people listening, if you've had experiences like Brett Creamer and his wife here, of any strange activity with planes, military planes, helicopters, particularly black helicopters, right, Brett?
Yeah.
But if you've had any experiences, please share it in the comments. We'd like to know about it. And Brett, I know that you've got a busy week ahead, so I won't keep you, but I appreciate you and your wife taking the time out to share this with me so that I can upload it to my YouTube channel for my listeners.
No problem. I hope there's somebody out there with the military background that could say, that we know exactly what they're doing, or maybe even somebody that works at the airport. We were just interested and curious because it was just weird. We've never seen anything like that here.